everyone. Welcome to the first night of Late Night Brew with the crew. I am Robert Buktenica, affectionately known as Buck, because no one can spell or pronounce my last name off the bat. And on our first episode, we have a very special guest, Ronnie Altit, CEO, and we are here to talk about our newest partner and honestly, a really, really cool technology, Nulia works. Ronnie, I hope you have yourself a good brew for tonight. I have mine.
I do.
Excellent.
I'm having an ouzo.
An ouzo. That is some. I remember I got introduced to that when I was working as a valet at a Greek restaurant, and the owner thought it was fun to give everyone ouzo shots.
I'm a big fan of ouzo. A big fan. My family used to drink ouzo, and ever since I was a little kid, my dad would have an ouzo after work or a scotch after work, and I was, once I got to a certain age, I was always allowed to have a sip, so I acquired a taste for it, and I do enjoy drinking an ouzo.
I appreciate it too. Once I learned how to drink it properly, because there's doing the shot, I would not recommend.
Not the drink you want a shot. But isn't it cool though? How when you put an ice cube into ouzo, it changes colour from clear to a whitish.
Cloudy.
Yep, there is a chemical reason for that I won't bore you with.
Maybe on another episode we'll get into that. I got myself. I decided to go unique for something new. It's a limited release Upslope Boulder, Colorado tea shandy. So it's an ale with black tea and lemon. It's dangerous because it tastes like a little bit of a strong black tea with a bit of lemon, and it goes down very, very smooth.
Excellent. Well, I think that might be part of their strategy.
It's working for them. I'll give them that.
There you go.
So, Nulia, what are they trying to achieve?
Well, how do I answer that in a nutshell? I think what they're really doing is they're revolutionising the digital enablement. The approach taken to digital enablement. They're starting with the Office 365 platform. And obviously, before we decided to take them to market, we did a whole lot of market research, as everyone would expect we should do. Haven't found anything that does what they do.
Yeah.
Nothing that I've seen does what they do the way they do it. It's really quite a special platform.
I would totally agree. I've been a 365 consultant for 6-7 years, and the biggest question I've always been asked is, how do we prove this is worth it? How do we prove people are using it? And I think Nulia solves that and gives that validity to it.
Well, 100%, right? Because it's anybody who's putting in Office 365, it's the whole story. You can have this wonderful productivity gains. You'll be able to use Teams, and you can chat, and you can video like we are today, and you can share files, and you can share your screen and present online and create channels and have all the files in one place. And then people can use OneNote and take meeting notes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And companies go, yeah, that sounds like really cool stuff. I've got to buy licenses anyway. I might as well buy these 365 licenses. So they buy E1s, E3s, E5s, whatever it is, M1s, et cetera, et cetera. And they go, right, cool. Let's do Active Directory and let's do mail. And that's easy, right? Because most people know how to use mail. Most people know how to use Outlook. That's easy.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to the rest of the productivity suite, they always hit that barrier. And there's a few that come up. But one of the big barriers is, how do I actually train my people? How do I know, not only how do I know if they're using it, but how do I enable them in such a way that they'll use the platform? And then how do I know that even once I've done that, they are using the platform? And that's sort of the big problem. The whole ProSite AdCar model is great, but once you've got the knowledge out there, it's the next bit, right? It's the reinforcement. It's the A and the R that's in AdCar that's a struggle. And Nulia just nails that, It nails it.
Yeah. Because it does both the training and the enablement all in one. You don't have to worry about picking up a second product.
Training. Yeah, I don't call it training, right? Because it is enablement, and it's just providing them the information they need. So let's just talk about what it does, right? So you have that problem that people have, and then typically they'll go down this change management path, which is very valid and has its place, no question. And they create change champions in the company. And they do lunch and learn sessions and put flyers up in bathrooms and on walls in kitchens. Hey, Teams is coming. This is coming. build some momentum, build some hype. They'll do lunch and learns, train the trainers, have specific people doing floor walking, FAQs that they can leave on desks or drop in emails, etc., etc., etc. And then they do all of that and they go, right, I hope people got that and I hope they're using it. And it's really, anything else becomes kind of anecdotal. It looks like people are using Teams a lot more to create chats. Yeah, but are they sharing files? Are they collaborating on files together? I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So the thing about Nulia is it's also finding out where people are at. So it's not just about new deploys. It's about, we've had this in place for a while. Let's put Nulia in and let's actually understand at a granular level what people are able to do. And when I say granular, I'm like, can they use @mentions in Teams? And are they using @mentions? Not are they using Teams for voice and for chat?
Yeah.
Are they actually able to use @mentions? Do they know how to use Meet Now? Do they know how to set up a meeting? Are they setting up a meeting? So we can profile them and get a baseline. And then what we can do is target the enablement and the learnings based on what they don't know how to do, because nobody wants to be trained and sit in a training room to be taught something that they already know. That's when they tune out and likely stay tuned out for the stuff that we really wanted to tell them anyway. But I think the critical thing is now we've trained them on and given them the enablement and the learnings on what they need to do, the ability to immediately go and try it, and then to not be given any accreditation until they use it. That's awesome, right? So it's like you can do all the training you want. Until you start using this function, we ain't giving you any accreditation for this. And more to the point, if you stop using this function, we're going to call you out as you now need attention back onto this. And that's the important thing too, right? Because we get excited and we go, oh my Lord, there's a new feature. I want to start using it. And you start using it and it's like, this is really cool, but nobody else around you is using it. So you're like, yeah, that was cool. And then you forget about it, go back to your day to day. Nulia stops that. So that's why it's just like, I think the platform's phenomenal.
Absolutely. It's since we've introduced it, I have found myself throughout the week going in and seeing what progress I have made, and it's just it's not even like I have to create a task or a reminder of, oh, go check this. It's more like, how am I doing? What haven't I done yet?
And just in case you forgot, it's going to send you an email anyway and tell you, hey, here's where you're at.
Yeah. The your week in Nulia, or your work week, I think is what it is.
Yeah, like I was amazed when I first got into the platform and I was like, oh, I had 26 skills. I'm like, oh, isn't that cool? How cool is that? But then I went through the platform, like, what are the skills I don't have? Come on, what's going on here? I kind of, I just got interested to go and educate myself on stuff and there was stuff that I was like, oh, I really want to know how to do that. And there it was. I could easily go and learn it and consume it in like 3 minutes, a 2 or 3 minute video. And I'm like, that's what you got to do. Or I could take the same piece of learning that I needed. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch a video. I just want to give me the step by step. I just want to quickly, step by step. So having the different types of enablement there as well to cater for different learning styles, that's pretty powerful as well.
Oh yeah, it speaks a lot because, as you said, the enablement sessions, if you lose somebody in the beginning, you lost them, and maybe that session isn't good for them. Maybe they're not, maybe they're more interactive. Maybe they're more of a video person, and they.
You mean like
they
traditional
have,
training?
Yeah, and there's they have each of those for them, and it caters to almost all of the potentials, of how someone needs to learn or could learn. So it really is great on that. And I gotta say, I love the rethinking the term training to enablement. I think that's a powerful mindset because we maybe it's just me. There's almost a stigma on training of I gotta go train. I gotta training. I gotta learn. How about, I'm gonna go enable myself to go do this. I'm gonna go enable someone else to be better, to be more productive. I gotta say I love that. I gotta call it out. It is a fantastic mindset switch.
Well, I can't own that. That's what the whole platform is, the digital enablement platform. I can't own that. But you're right. It had a profound impact on me when I started thinking about it too.
Yeah.
And it's the interesting thing as well. We've brought a number of different products into market over the time, over the 10 years that we've been in existence. We've brought a number of products, and it's the first and the only product, pretty much. You know, there was another one that we did that Microsoft bought, FS Logics, that sort of had a really strong value proposition as well that people gravitated to. But this is the one that, you know, and I'm so passionate about it. I do a lot of the demos myself. It's like, why is the CEO doing demos? Because I love it, right? I just think it's such a great platform. So I've probably done 40 or 50 of these demonstrations, and every single person, bar one, just one person said, yeah, actually two. Two people said, yeah, not so sure, but that was because they couldn't work out how to make it fit within their business from a partner perspective. But every other person that I've demoed it to is like, wow, this is amazing. This is absolutely incredible. I can't believe that nobody else has thought of this. And that's when you know you're on a good idea, right? When somebody says, gee, I wish I would have thought of that, that's a great idea. And there's going to be something in it. So yeah, it's just been incredible to see the take up. And then with the partners that we sort of demonstrate it to, we'll demonstrate it to a partner, and they're coming back to us saying, hey, we want to get this going. Get us some licenses. We want to get this in market. Because that doesn't happen with too many products too often.
Right, and those are both. Would you say that runs the gamut of new Office 365 customers to existing customers who have been in there for years and
Absolutely.
you know, feel like they know it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just even new versus old, or new versus, you know, or existing usage. Yeah, established is a good word. It's also knows no bounds in terms of scale. So it's equally valid for a 5 or 10 user organization. In fact, the first sale we did was a 5 user sale, right? So it's equally valid for five users as it is for 500,000 users. And the interesting thing too is that for those that are established, let's say they have gone down the whole adoption change management path, and they have created and done all of the lunch and learns and the trainings and all the things I spoke about. What happens when they hire new people? What happens when they get the next intake of people into their organization? How are they keeping them enabled? How are they ensuring that they're leveraging the tool sets properly? So it's, you know, and the fact that the platform's evergreen and it continually gets new learnings put into it so that people can continue to upskill and up enable, shall we say, that's also really powerful as well. So, you know, with those that have like, we've had this in place for a long time, they're almost easier because they're like, we've had it in place a long time, but we know we hardly use any of it, right? And and then the ones who are putting it in are like, yeah, we know we're not going to use much of it if we don't enable people properly. And this is a way that we can do it in a fun way. You know, you can gamify the platform too, so it makes it fun as well.
Right. Yeah, and I love that too. That little bit of friendly, isn't it? That bit of friendly competition of, oh well, you know, I've gotten this many outcomes or this many skills. How many do you have?
Yep. That happened internally with us, right? So we sent out that leaderboard, and somebody came up and they said, I thought I was doing really well with my 25 skills, but that person's got 35. I'm going to get in there and do some stuff.
Yeah, so, a couple, Neil and Jay, they're like, hey, how many points do you have? You know, wait, do you mean this?
But it's not how many points do you have?
Right? It's engagement.
How many points have you earned?
Earned, yeah.
Right, because you might have earned, like for example, for me, I've earned 2,500 points thereabouts, but I spent 1,100, and that's because I keep upskilling myself. But it's also when I'm doing demonstrations for people, I'm like, hey, look, I can do this, and it'll cost me 25 points to do it, or right. So that ability not just to see how much have you earned, but also how much have you spent speaks to how much are you reinvesting in yourself too. So you can not only be given a set of outcomes by your organisation to deliver upon, but you can do those and go, hang on a second, I don't want to just be at the user level on this. I want to go to producer, or I want to go to master. Let me unlock that. I'm going to spend my points and unlock it. And so it's great then for a management company to come back to those engagement points and say, hey, look at that. That person's earned a lot, but they've spent a lot on themselves. I really, and a lot of people like to see their crew investing in themselves.
And the engagement, the continual, as you say, coming back to it and coming back and what else can I do? What else can I build on? What else can I get involved with? How, from what we have done, what would you say the feedback is on setting it up?
Well, piece of cake. Look, the biggest questions are around what are the security, how does the security work in the data, and who gets access to what data, and those sorts of things. But the setup, it's literally 3 or 4 minutes. It's very, very quick to add it into a tenancy and for it to start gathering data. Super, super easy. Yeah, there's not even a lot of services that attach to this, right? Because once we enable an organization, show them how to use it, give them all the onboarding materials about how they can communicate, what are the different ways they can gamify, etc. If there's a champion within an organization, they can take it and run with it. Or alternatively, our partners can, run with it for them. We can run with it with our partners for the client. There's lots of different ways, but it's not, firstly, it's not an expensive platform. Secondly, it's not really services heavy. And so to me, I'm just like, it's a no-brainer.
And the setup is so quick. You're not standing up servers. You're not trying to build connectors, and
nope.
Yeah, that's
and
always.
I know that sounds like people say it's so easy, but it is.
It's easier than setting up AD Connect, and that requires having a server and installing a platform and knowing what options. And that's a wizard that guides you too.
It's very, very easy. It's like any other good SaaS platform, very simple, very easy to attach, and highly valuable.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for enjoying the drink with me. I appreciate your time. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Click the link, email me, robert.buktenica@insentragroup.com. Don't worry about spelling it. It'll be spelled out for you. So have a wonderful rest of your day and evening. Cheers.
Cheers to you too, bro.